Hallelujah. Well, today I'm going to be rounding up the series on God's plan, for your success. And I actually, well, maybe two more contacts will have finished, but I think, we're racing with time, so I will end it today. I want to find out how many of us have been blessed in this series. I think it's 4 weeks. Yeah, let's put our hands together. Hallelujah. One thing that you have to deal, about when we're dealing with teachings, in House of Refuge or in this place, is my aim is not to give you information. My aim is for you to be transformed. It's transformation. All right. It's changing the way you think by taking in new information. All right. And the only way what I am saying will be a transformation, is when you intentionally, use and step, into this truth. If not, it will just be a lot of information, and then there are no changes. And frustration to me comes, when you watch people, and then, only maybe one or two, you watch people with truths, just crazy truths, dynamite, and you expect them to begin to walk in them, in your comportment, in how you talk, in your life, in your living, though there are a lot of testimonies, of lives being changed, homes, our ability to handle our homes, our marriages, and then our resources, but I know that, the seed produce 40, 60, and 100, as your teacher or your pastor. I want 100. How many of you want 100-fold? Yes, I want to see 100-fold. All right. It's not enough, for a production of 40. We want to see, 100-fold. All right. And in this series, today I will, because all through I've been dealing with primary investment, and it will not be good that I round up without talking little about money. Though last Sunday, of course, and last Sunday I just stopped halfway. And if I say I'm going to go back to last Sunday, it will take me the whole of this evening. So I'm not going to go to last Sunday. I will just pick up, on what I have, for today. Please go to media and demand either the MP3 or the, of all of the collections of the series. I expect that the media are more organized, where you have links in WhatsApp that these messages will be sent, so that you listen to it over and over and over. All right. So because today is part 8. Part 8 tells me that these are 4th week. I've done 4 weeks. All right. Every week is 2 entrenchment. I give you two doses. All right. This Sunday, I'm going to start on divine intelligence. Divine intelligence. Yeah, come on, put your hands together. Yes. There is an information about you that your university, your polytechnic, and your education is anti-it. You're trained contrary to who you are. That's why you're malfunctioning and you're not actually expressing. No school should tell you what do you want to become. All right. Before you arrive here, there is a wiring about you already. All right, and it takes you connecting to God to have that divine intelligence. All right, and it is when you step into it, that you begin to walk in the greatness of who you are. All right, every wisdom from universities, polytechnics, all of them, they are foolishness to the wisdom that God has concerning you. All right, and they are limited. All right, and what I'm going to do on Sunday is to expose us, and then allow us to begin to tap, into the super consciousness or the divine intelligence, of who we are. Sometimes you will have to abandon almost everything that you know and be so foolish to step in. But his wisdom is foolishness to the professors in the university. Are you hearing me? All right, and until you have that knowledge, all right, you cannot actually operate in the kingdom authority or in the dominion, that God wants you. You are actually on earth to express that inner intelligence that God has for you, in the unseen. All right. So today I'm going to, and what's going to happen today is, in as much as I'll be teaching, but it's going to be I'll put on the cap of a life coach, and we will be answering some questions. I might not be picking on you, but if we are going to handle your finances, there are some questions that you have to face them and deal with them. And then there are some financial habits and beliefs, that you have to challenge. You see, things that are so solid in your life begins to shake when you challenge them. All right. Once you don't challenge them, they stay. But when you begin to challenge them, they begin to shake. And sometimes you probe, you challenge them with questions, all right. And no change happens, at the level of observations or activity. Change happens, at the level of the belief. Almost everything that you're going through is psychological, in nature. And if we are able to go back and we're able to dig in, on some of those psychological entrenchments, then consciously we begin to create new habits that will cause us to begin to have new products. Is that okay? I say, is that okay? All right. Okay. We have been looking at God's success plan, his style and strategy. All right. And we said that, when you're dealing with his plan, his style, his strategy, his success system, and of course that success system is available, to you as a believer. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, God's success plan is available to me. Okay, now let's change it. Say, neighbor, God's success plan, his strategy, his style is available to you. Look at you, you're turning back. Look at you. Somebody that is beside you, you're turning back. She has this. He has that, Say, neighbor. Say, neighbor, neighbor, neighbor. God's success plan, his strategy, his style is available to you. So use it. All right. And we said that his plan, his strategy is that God plants what he wants to produce. God sows what he wants to grow. God seeds for the future. And then he invests where he wants to increase. All right. Don't lose on this plan. All right. And whatever you see God do, it's not that see what God can do. No. It's see what you can't do. All right. Because you are created in the image and in the likeness of God. All right. So this is also, the four, plans. Okay, God plants what he wants, produce, sows what he wants to grow. He seeds for the future, and he invests where he wants to increase. Is the mindset of a smart investor. All right. And my desire after this training is for you to come out as investors. All right. At the core of your belief. When you begin to do that, then you are behaving like God. All right. God Whenever he has an idea, he has a way that he materializes his idea. Whenever he has an intent or intentions, he has a way that he materializes them. And he does it with this principle. The process is seed, time, harvest, and season. You know, Zeno is looking lost. You know, he does it through a principle. You know, and the process is seed, time, harvest, season. And we said it in this place that the seed speaks to the potential of the thing. And then the time speaks to the process of the thing. We said it that the harvest speaks, you know, of the product or the produce. All right. And generally what ought to happen is that you have to submit your potential through a process. And then the process will produce the product. All right. You have to submit your potential. In other words, your seed has to go through a process. Your potential has to go through a process. It is the process, the gravitropical growth have to take place before there is going to be, the photographical growth. All right. So the process produced the product, and seasons speaks of purpose. And that's what we dealt with on Sunday. Very important. On Sunday, it's not just that we are bringing revelations. No, you have to be able to be astute and keen to almost everything that we said. It is important that you learn to invest in season. All right. You don't just, remember when we're dealing with season purpose, you don't just go ahead. No, you learn to invest in season on purpose, intentionally and strategically. All right. When you move in investment, it has to be, in season. It has to be on purpose. You're dealing with time and purpose. And then it has to be intentionally, because whatever you want to increase, you invest. And then it has to be strategically. Now, if everything is going to work in your life, you have to have a way, in which you measure that success. All right. You will never manage what you will not measure. All right. And if you don't measure things, you cannot know, your growth, or the, or where you are, in the course, of this life. However, if you manage things well, all right, it will show that it means you measure it well. So if I'm going to measure things, measure my revenue, measure where I am, the first place that I need to start is to have an understanding on my personality, or what I call my financial personality. If you're broke here, it's not by accident. Nobody wakes up broke. It's as a result of who you are, an habit, a person, a personality that you are. All right, okay. So, and then you if you're going to manage, you must be able to know how to measure. And knowing your financial personality is important. All right. Watch. One of the most difficult things to do, in fact, it's more difficult than building a new house, is to renovate a house. All right. I'm not just talking about okay. Whenever you begin to renovate a house, the worst thing that you can do, is to begin to put new layer of paint on all layers. You're given the house, you just say, and then say, "Me painty, come." No. The first thing you need to do is to scrape everything that is on that. If you want to see, the glow of, do you understand what I'm talking about? All right. If you don't scrape to the bare, and you just come and kafara lepte painty, it will not appeal to you. In fact, you might hate it. All right. So the major problem with people, is that you want to begin to put in new things without measuring where you are, and then brutally scraping some certain things so that you can take in new things. All right. When that happens, when that doesn't happen, we might not be able to see, progress. So the right thing to do is to strip to the bare rest of the material. That is why the process of renovating is ugly. When you come to a place where they're renovating and the place is a mess, it's ugly. However, when you give it time, don't be playing with our lights like that. You don't know a thing, just leave it. However, when you give it time, then it comes out, and then you begin to see the effort or the payment of the pain that you went through, in trying to renovate. The reason is because whenever you are renovating, it involves subtraction and division before addition and multiplication. You don't add until you remove first. You remove some things, some pipes, some plumbing, you remove some ceiling. There has to be, okay? Until you do that, you can add or multiply some of the aesthetics that you, all right? And that process is actually the mathematics of creation. When God was creating, he divides and subtracts before he begins to add and multiply. All right, he doesn't just come, he separated things. Am I talking here? All right, so when it comes to you reinventing your life, because I want you, how many of you believe that you have an appointment with prosperity? You have an appointment with breakthrough. You have an appointment with wealth. You're just not excited away. I said, how many of you believe you have an appointment? Am I talking here? All right. So, but the new you have to come out. Because the old you can handle. Because you have to be in the place. Am I talking here? All right. So when it comes to you reinventing your life, renovating, re-engineering or reimagining your life, then it's also still going to take the process of subtracting, dividing, before you begin to add in some certain things. Before you begin to take in or begin to multiply some certain things. So you must first of all know who you are when it comes to finances. All right? At the core, primarily, who you are. Who are you? Are you primarily spenders, primarily savers, primarily, I'm using the word primarily, I'm talking about at your core, primarily wasters, primarily investors? All right, you have to be able to answer that, and I'm going to help you because we're going to, I'm taking it slow because we're going to challenge some paradigms and way of thinking. I want to make a statement concerning money. I'm not dealing with seasons and times. Who is there? I'm dealing with financial personality. Sorry. Money is liquid. All right. All right. How many of you heard this term? Liquid cash. Liquid cash. Yes. Yeah. Money, I'm not dealing with seasons and times. Remove this. Money is liquid. The reason why it's liquid is because it moves. It moves and takes the shape, of the person that holds it. It is in the movement of money that its value comes out. Whenever money is stagnant, it's useless. You won't see the value. But the value of money begins to show forth or come out when it begins to move. That's why money, asusu, or in a treasure chest, has no value. Later I'm going to show you also, while it's good we deal with banks, but when you pick the same money and you release it in the marketplace where good and services are available and there is an exchange for it, then that money that was valueless in your asisu begins to gain value. It will shock you that begins to grow and swell. And its value is only realized at the point of exchange. All right, when you release it, you allow it to go to work. Whether you allow the process, you take time, or you take goods and you move the goods to a particular place, transfer the goods and get a cash. You cannot take 1,000 and buy this thing and move it to another location and transfer. The exchange will not be 1,000. When there's an exchange, they might give me maybe 1,500. All right, so in the movement of the money, the 1,000 just accumulated a sum of 500 on it. But it only did that because I allowed it to move. So its value is always realized at the point of exchange. So you have to establish it in your mind that money is liquid and it is created to move. If you don't have it in your mind, then you might not be able to operate in the things that I want to. All right. When you take your money and you put it in the bank and then you leave it there, banks are good. Those that know how to use bank, they use it well. All right. But when you take your money and leave it in the bank, then you don't understand the nature of money. However, the bank knows the nature of money, because when you carry your money, 10 million, 1 million, 500,000, and you're excited and you're comfortable that you have money now, you live thinking security, the banks will not leave it there. The banks will take that money and then move it. They're going to move it the minute you put it there. They're going to move it, they will invest it, they will take it, they will lend it at a rate or an interest that put that money to work. However, because you are dumb, and even when you leave the money, you never take, when you are light and just, you never take your time, to negotiate, some certain things. All right. They will move the money, invest it, and then on their own decide to give you a rate or an interest, and then they will take the lion's share of what your money became as a result of the movement. I don't know what's, just I said remove that thing, then it just complicated, They're going to keep the lion's share of the profit of the return and give you an interest. And most often when they give you an interest, the interest that they give you will not beat the rate of inflation. All right. Worse, Nigeria. The inflation rate, is just, so money, listen to me, is not inherently evil. All right. Forget about some of the quotations that people never explain well. Money is not the root of all evil. The Bible never said that. However, it said that the love. Okay. So money in its core, it's not evil. Neither is it neutral. Money is liquid, and it is good liquid. How do I know it's good liquid? Because that's what God says. Money is inherently good. All right, let me prove to you. When you look at the universal symbol for wealth, the universal symbol for wealth is the gold. And when God was creating the earth in Genesis, God talked about 4 rivers. One, there's a gold, Havilah. And listen to what he said. And he said that the gold there is good. All right. Meanwhile, the universal symbol for wealth is gold. So it's actually dealing with wealth, money. Money is liquid and is a good liquid. All right. What God is trying to say, of course, that money gives you purchasing power. All right. All right. So the power to purchase is good. It's not evil. And the question that you must ask is that, will God want you to have purchasing power? The answer is yes. I don't think God, will want you, because there are goods that are in the marketplace, that will seriously add value to your life. Even right now, whether you have a business, whether it's a ministry, a mission, organization, assignment, or or operations. All right, your ability to have, in fact, if you have a vision and a dream and you don't have liquid, you will be frustrated in this life. All right, because you have something that you want to bring, but the purchasing power is not there. So money is a good liquid. All right, if you have no purchasing power, then most often you're going to do without. And if you're in the marketplace, the people that have purchasing power are going to walk all over you, and sometimes they will chase you out. All right, and chances are the church people are chased out. Why? We don't have the liquid, we don't have the purchasing power. So money is good, and God wants you to have it. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, God wants me to have money. All right. However, the warning when it comes to dealing with money has to do with the character and the personality of the person that owns the money. Because if money is liquid, it's going to take the shape of the person that holds it. If you are stupid, it's going to be stupid money. Come on, put your hands together if you understand what I'm talking about. All right, okay. Because, it will take the shape of the person holding it. That is why before money begins to come into your life, you have to be in the best shape financially. You have to be in the best financial shape. You're actually a product of learning. That's why you see, when you miss church and you miss training, all right, you just continue to express, your foolishness. All right. So we have to intentionally develop financial character. Good financial character. When I'm talking about financial character, I'm talking about conviction and financial personality that makes the very best use of money. All right. If you're broke, it's your character and your personality. So I need to be able to be in the best financial shape or personality. All right. There's a personality that makes best use of resources or money when it comes to, all right. Remember, it's liquid. All right. If you are a waster, it takes the shape. If you're a spender, it takes the shape. If you're an investor, it takes the shape. All right. So I need to be, all right. That's when money comes into my life or your life, it's going to be translated or begin to move. That's when you have a good character into your prophetic destiny. All right. It is wrong for money to come into your hand when you don't even have a vision, when you don't even know who you are. That's why some of you, when you look back, money came into your hand, you blew them. The reason is because there's no goal and because you don't have a vision. All right, okay. It's terrible for money to move into your hand. So when money arrives into our lives, we want to be in a good financial shape so that it's going to be translated and begin to move into our prophetic destiny, feeding our destiny, vision. It's going to move in the direction of an anointed assignment. All right, what I am called to do or to become. All right, okay. When I don't have that assignment and money comes into my life, my shape is not right, and I might end up in the wrong place this time, next year. All right. So, my ability to get in a financial shape has to begin with an honest assessment of my life. But you see, I'm actually trying to tell you, I remember when I was dating my wife, the first book I gave her, is on money. Is on money. I can't remember, that author. It was a pirated book, so I gave it out and I couldn't get the original. All right. Because your financial shape will determine how you end up in life. Who you are. It's not anointing. It's not oil on your head. Because your financial shape is in your core. All right. So you must stop lying to yourself and then stop justifying destructive behavior. Meanwhile, that's why you are broke and it's keeping you broke. This is how you don't know frugality, and that's why you are broke. You're just what monkey see, monkey do. All right. So you have to be so brutal to yourself and honest to yourself. Why are you behaving the way you're behaving? In fact, there are some habits because of repetition. You do them without even reasoning. Why? That's how and you don't even, there are some things you do. If I ask you, why do you do them? You just say, I don't know. But you see, it's natural for you to do them. It's habitual. But you don't know why you do them. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? Yes. So you have to stop lying to yourself and stop excusing yourself and stop playing the blame game. We have to stop looking at ourselves as victims and begin to give more premium on ourselves as people that have the power to change outcomes. I don't care where you are, you can change it when you want to change it. Somebody began a minute. I don't care the level that you are, you can turn it around if you want to turn it around. If you're in point A and you want to be in point B, you can. If you want to. You have the power to change outcomes. And you do that by choices and decisions that you make. And sometimes you sustain it and to create new habits, so that it can position you in life. So the big question is, who are you or what are you like with money? What are you like with money? Let's go deeper. Assuming I come here and I drop money into your hand, what happens to you? What happens to the money? Where does the money go? Immediately I come in here, I drop 1 million, 2 million, 10 million. How is your level of excitement? What happens to you? Let's assume somebody walk in here and gives everyone on this place 10 million naira. What will you do with it? And as I'm talking, better, I believe that your mind is working. And some of you, you will do what you always do. What will you do with it? Where will the money go? Remember, today I'm putting on the cap of a life coach. Right? Yeah, And don't be angry with me. I will make your life better. It's not an interest of me that you are just struggling or broke. I started where you are. I have to face this question directly and deal with it directly. Started broke, nothing. Broke as you can ever think. Most of you even started better. But I have to face this question. Most people that are looking at me, if 10 million is given to you, you're going to be poor this time next year. Most will go down to nothing. Except maybe now in this atmosphere, you're going to say, chap, because now I'm here. But I'm just trying to tell you, because you are going to actually move based on your personality and your habit. Most people here, when I release 10 million to you, you're going to move out. Consciously, unconsciously, you're going to purchase liabilities with the money. And at the end, you will be left with depreciating assets. Come on, put your hands together if you understand. If I give you 10 million, so immediately you change your rent, you go to maybe Dugire, you buy plasma screen, you tush, you buy car, most of you, the thing that you have been dreaming while you are broke, that's what you will go after. Unless that thing changed. I remember in those days, Pepsi. So I was in the university, so I pick up, and then my younger brother said, this is a winning, we didn't sleep that day. Said, this is a winning number. We're in Jos. So we lie down, we didn't sleep. We started talking on what we're going to do. I said, immediately we go and they give us this mattress, we're taking it out. Munsa in the Lamusa, the TV, you're not hearing what I'm talking about. When I went to Sokoto and then I started teaching extra lesson, the money came. The next thing that I was buying a machine with a TV, because all my life, my father never had. And while I was growing up, rich people sooner, oppressing them with the TV, you're trying to look. And then unconsciously, I thought that is good. Let me have money. And that's what I went for. So most of you, if I give you 10 million, by this time next year, you will be as broke as you are now. And the only thing that we will conclude that happened to you is that we're going to see depreciating assets. Used to be Sabon suit. Or a car. The kuna kukarinka change inji or tayo yanzu, until like that. Because 10 million, you're thinking of a new car. 10 million, you're thinking of changing your apartment. 10 million, bed dinang daman na tarishida tuse. 10 million, kaya kinama, bayi kamada muta neba, yakamata. 10 million, most of you. Don't look at me. Come on, put your hands together. Come on, put your hands together. I'm here to help you. Now, if you listen to me today, I will help you for the rest of your life. You must answer this question. What are you like with money? What are you like with money? Before I begin to go deeper, let me just give you a little thing about human beings. I don't know. Human beings, listen to me, are creatures of reasons and creatures of habits. In fact, sometimes it might be your destruction if it is wrongly placed. Whenever you see a person moving, so as a creature of reason, we do things for the reasons that make sense to us at that time. And sometimes if it makes sense to us at the time, there's nothing that any other person can tell me. Because it makes sense to me, okay? So our behavior is always driven by or enabled by a set of beliefs I'm not talking psychology here. I'm talking Bible. How you're wired. So we do things based on the reason or what makes sense to us at the time. So if we do things, listen to me, long enough, that thing becomes a habit. I have a book, crazy book. The title of the book is Habits. Once you enter into the loop, forget it. So when we do things, we do based on, okay, and when we do it long enough, listen, they become habitual to us. When they become habitual to us, we don't need to have a reason why we do certain things. So later when they ask you, you don't even have a reason because they become habitual. We simply do them because we are creatures of habit. There's a way you lie down. There's a way you sit on a sofa. There's a way you carry a cup. There's a way you respond. All right? Why do you do that? Well, I don't know why. You did it continually, then it becomes habitual. When something becomes habitual, you don't even have to have a reason for doing it, but you will do it. While we're in the university, anytime we see the green bus, we know scholarship. So anytime we collect scholarship, the next place is Bishop Street. How many of you? Elder. The brokes, the Sabon jeans, the Belai. Once money comes, and if you ask me why do I do that, I don't have a reason why. There's something that becomes habitual. Come on, put your hands together if you understand. We simply do them because we are creatures of habit. We do them because, listen to me, we have always done them. That is why if I give you money, what you always do, that's where the money will go. Worse, listen to me, worse if the habits are bad. We do it because that's how our friends do it. So we're together, they keep doing it, and then it becomes habitual. We do it because that's how our parents do it. We grew up in it, now you don't even have a reason. We become creatures of habits, and we tend to absorb those beliefs and values and lifestyles of our peers. There are some things that you're doing, they might be destructive, but you can do it. You just do it. Why do you do it? You don't have a, we're creatures of reasons and habit. Now watch, your personality and what you are like with money, dealing with financial personality, is going to be based on some beliefs that you have about money. And almost everybody that is looking at me, there is a belief you have about money. And when money comes to you, what you do with it, and it's going to be based on some financial habits that you have either inherited or you have embraced. So because since from university, once I see the green bus scholarship, I get money, boom, I hit market, new thing. Same thing. Immediately somebody gives you money. The next thing is that you want to hit the market. Why? You have done it consistently. That's why when the month ends, immediately you see your alert, pop, your mind already market. Why? You have done it the gym hour. Do you understand what I'm talking about? I've done it. Once we see the green bus, move out of student center, immediately they are giving me the money. I'm out. We are creatures of habits and reason. So, and because you have these beliefs and these habits, this 10 million that will enter your hand, you're going to do based on those habits. So what you will do with the money is based on your beliefs about money and based on your, look at me, current financial habit. So some of you, you're broke.
is a habit. It's a financial habit. So when I give you 10 million, you're going to operate it based on your, all right, you will do with money what you have always been doing with money. So you have to find out. If I check your, what do you always do with money? Immediately go impulsive. You send this one to this, and then pop. The next thing you want to trace. What do you always do with money? So if I give you 10 million, you're not going to do anything new. You will do what you always do with money. What you always do with money, that's what you will do. All right. However, based on this analysis, I have my time is moving, but I need to teach. When you see somebody behaving, it's based on about 3 facts. Number 1, either that thing moves you towards a goal. When somebody is going after something, there is a goal. The goal most often, typically, is either to avoid painful experience. Sometimes the reason you do some things is that you're running away, you want to avoid a painful experience, or you want to obtain pleasure. It's called the principle of pain and pleasure. All behaviors moves you towards a goal. It is a principle, of the stick and the carrot. How do you move a mule, a horse, a donkey? Right. It's either he sees the stick and associate the stick to a pain and begin to move, or he sees a carrot dangled in front of it, associate it to a pleasure and begins to follow it, and you keep moving the carrot. So all behaviors, all right. Number 2, when you see somebody behaving, it's based on a belief. And worse, some set of beliefs are basically assumptions. This is not psychology class, though. I'm dealing Bible. A belief in its core is a sense of certainty. That's why if you're not healed, it's because you're not certain about certain things. When you are certain about a thing, that's where belief comes. When you are certain, it will be seen in a behavior. It's going to be shown in act. So when you are certain that you are healed, you will believe. The behavior will be you walk, you carry your bed and walk. Are you hearing what? Okay. So all behaviors are basically based on, when you feel certain about something, that's now your belief. And most of our belief are based on assumptions. And that's where the challenge is. They're not based on investigation. If you're going to be certain about a thing, for God's sake, investigate. So you're using mantle. Why? Why do you believe? Why have you investigated? Assumptions, not investigations, not examination, not evidence, no justification. They are typically based on assumptions. Number 3, I don't have time to deal with this. All behaviors are based on unconscious. All of these things boil down to your money. Unconscious habits. Unconscious habit is what we call tradition. It's moving towards your money now. So when I ask you, what are you going to do with 10 million? Listen to me. You're going to do what your true belief about money tells you to do, and what you have been habitually doing with money. Unconscious belief, habitual, is tradition. Unless, if anything is going to change, and when you see poor people, there are habits, things that they do habitually. If they're going to move to become rich, there has to be an intervention on something that is habitual. There has to be a rude awakening. There has to be a brutal fact that you have to face. All right. If not, there won't be change. If not, it's not about more money, Because more money is more of those habits. So unless you have an intervention that interrupts the pattern and breaks the cycle of financial defeat, you will always be broke no matter how much I give you. So you can come into a place where you have money, but when you are out at the end, when you look back 2-3 years, there's nothing that you can show about it. And some of you, money has entered your hand. Why are you begging now? Remember, on Sunday, I said that, we read, in the time of plowing, investing, you refuse, you will beg. Some of you is a status, a class. So money enters, you want to prove to people you are making it. People that hate you. And you're not thinking, there's a class I want to maintain, that I have to, and you're, okay, unless that habit is interrupted and the cycle stop, you will always be. And what we want to do you know they're telling me I have 12 minutes? Whether I finish or I don't finish, is to interrupt the pattern. If I'm going to interrupt the pattern, then I must question some assumptions. We want to break the habits and then create new habits. If I create habits that feed me better, then sometimes it now becomes a system that I can go to bed, but I know that something is working for me. So when I begin to do that, then I begin to pick up a new financial personality that makes the best possible use of money that comes into my hand. If you don't have a very good financial personality, keep increasing the money. If you're writing, I want you to write this. Our belief systems are responsible for our behaviors. So if I'm going to change the behavior, I must change the belief that justifies them. Your belief about money. Your belief about money justifies your behavior, excuses your behavior, and enable your financial behavior. What you believe about money. Your belief about money, whether it is constructive or destructive, it's going to give you the excuses. It will justify why you buy that thing. It will justify it, So if I'm going to change my financial personality, then I'm going to have to, listen to me, arrest and address some of my beliefs about money. If up till now I'm broke. In fact, if you're broke, it's because you have some terrible financial habits. The reason is because lasting behavioral change, listen to me, only occur at the level of beliefs. It never happened at the level of behavior. If the belief doesn't change, if you want to change your pattern or change your behavior, don't face at the behavior, start at the belief. Because something is creating it. If you believe different, then you will ultimately behave different. If there's no change in that, all right. So in this training, I want you to have some certain beliefs. And okay, if you're going to have new beliefs, you have to answer this question. Write it down. What is the purpose of money? I'm going to give you a few. Each of the answers to this constitute a paradigm. When I say a paradigm, I'm talking about a way of thinking. Each of these is also a personality. And some have this personality. And the answers that I'm going to give, all of them constitute a hole in a money bag. When you have a hole in a money bag, forget it. No matter how much you put in that money bag, you'll be broke. this time next year. The reason is because the answers that I'm going to give, they constitute money leaving you without anything coming back. And whenever money leaves you without nothing coming back, you will be broke. That is why when you give people money, most of them will be poor again in no time. Why? They did not answer this well. And all their answers constitute money leaving them. The reason is because their beliefs about what money is, listen to me, led them to do things with money that can only take money away from them and never bring money to them. It's in the answering of the question. So, the first is I'm going to deal with at the lowest level, of economic status. We're dealing with employees. Lowest level. Most people believe that the purpose of money is a belief, is to pay bills. And there are some people that's what you believe money is for. Most. Typically, when you're dealing with employees who lives from paycheck to paycheck and who lives on credit, their mindset is that the reason I'm going to go to work is because I want to have some money so that I can pay bills, pay rent, pay school fees, pay debtors. I want to get money so that I can pay these bills. That's why some of you, okay, this is the main objective of people at the lowest level of economic status. If the only reason is to pay bills, you're at the lowest level of economic status. These people, they don't have investors' mindset. They don't think about it. And multiply their money, they will increase the number of bills that they will keep paying. Because in their mind, they don't have, okay, you don't have investors' paradigm. These people are not able to practice seed, time, harvest, season. It's not in their purview. Pay bills. Because your idea is that the purpose of money is to pay bills. And most of them, when there is left over, then they splash on it. Mukashi. Their disposable income, okay, all right. Now, and that's where they stay. Worse is that churches embellish this behavior. They say, well, what is it? Just trust God. Roof over your head, food on your table, your children are in school. Be content. What do you look for? They establish this purpose to pay bills. And it's a toxic theology. And that's all you should be believing God for. And you're giving testimony, couldn't rent. And you're going work, you're doing everything. You want to pay rent, you want to buy clothes, you want to buy food, you want to pay school fees. Any financial ambition beyond that, the pulpit tells you, then you're earthly minded. You're carnal. The second reason, I need to move fast. The purpose of money, second, some people have it, is to enjoy life. When you're in farmer and your mind is that when money comes, the reason money comes is so that you enjoy life. Some of you have that. What that means is that I want to go on a vacation, go on a break, wear new clothes, spend temporary, on temporary gratification. And worst of it, the pulpit also, and then you see with pastors, some of you associate prosperity with new clothes, new car that a pastor drives for somebody. Man, you're not doing that. And that's what you aspire. The version of prosperity that you see that have led people to believe that that's why God wants you to be blessed. God wants you to be blessed so that you can wear nice clothes, drive nice cars, live in a nice neighborhood, and travel the world. The reason is because the purpose for money for these people is to enjoy life. And there are some of you. And this purpose is actually a belief, is a core. Number 3, security. Some people believe that money is for security. Later I'm going to show you, okay. These people, when you meet them, they are fundamentally savers. They are always fear-driven. Abuze Faru Agaba, I need to have security. And these people, some of them are here. They save as much as they can. They save any disposable income because they are obsessed with rainy day. Rainy day is coming. Tough times are coming. And I need to have security. They enjoy to lie down and see that there is money in the account. I need to build some financial fortress so I can protect myself against what is in the future. These people are typically risk averse. They can't take risks. They prefer to be happy with what they have. They never take financial risk. Their mindset is that the reason I need money is for security. Things happen in life, and when things happen, money can solve it. I want, when things happen, I should be able to, so I need to have money easily accessible, liquid capital in my savings account with an interest rate that doesn't beat the rate of inflation. You never know, any money you leave in your savings account actually keeps depreciating. Number 4, status symbols. There are some people, these people believe money is to buy symbols. These guys, they love titles, love big things, big cars, luxury cars. So they buy cars as status symbol. They buy designer clothes. In designer, but they will tell you, Kasa million, Gucci, Gucci. They move. In fact, they get their pride from that. Jewelries. That's why you see them footballers. Amokachi is broke. He's in status symbols. Carton, gold, diamond, plane, drive in, come out. Now, after look back, can't sustain life. Status symbols. They look large, bigger chain, house, boats, new cars. Whoa! Meanwhile, you want to impress people that each of these paradigms, listen to me, is a bag with holes. Haggai 1, 5-6. Haggai 1, 5-6. Haggai 1, 5-6. Now therefore, thus says the Lord of hosts, consider your ways. 6. You have so much, bring a little, you eat, but you have not enough, you drink, but you are not filled with drink. You clothe, but there is not warm. He that earneth wages, look at it, earneth wages only to put it in bag with holes. When you have these habits, no matter how much we give you, you end up in the same place. Why? Because this reason for money is a bag with hole. No matter how much God makes available, you can have a kind of a financial personality that no matter how much money we put in your hand, there will be nothing to show forth for it at the end. No matter how much God made available to you, when you have a wrong personality, you're a bag with holes. And anything that we put is going to leak out. Question: what are you like with money? What is your financial personality? So if you want to become the person that God will entrust with great money, resources, wealth, then you must start renovating. And remember, renovating, you have to start renovating at the level of belief and purpose and value. Some of you, the purpose for money that I mentioned, you can fix yourself there. You must start the renovation at a deeper level so that we become the personality, do have, who can do the best things with the money that can produce the best result. You must be the personality that can do the best thing with money that can produce. Do have. Are you hearing me? Becoming the person is always the kingdom order of success. So we need to make it a priority to become the person that is financially, listen to me, intelligent, financially literate, and commercially sophisticated. If you're not that person, and you have to be the person that is capable of making great choices smart choices, and good decisions with money. You see, you are where you are based on the decisions that is okay. So that allows us into 4 types of personalities. Number 1, the spender. The spender. The spender is a person that uses money to pay bills. He's the one that believes that the purpose of money is to pay bills. If you know, and when you meet this kind of person, when you double his income, double his salary, he will create more bills. So he will pay bigger bills, create more needs. He will buy bigger needs. Triple the income. He will triple the bills. At first, he's just paying rent. When you increase, now he will buy DSTV to pay more bills. Because more money has to go. Kayanjin daddy. Why? His personality is that he's a spender. He's a spender. When money comes, it's to just, okay. If you triple, he will change his lifestyle. He will pay bigger bills and buy bigger necessities. If the inches is 40 now, he will buy 90. Pay bigger. Change rent. Bigger bills. Why? He's doing it unconsciously because he's a spender. He thinks money is to kill. Because your financial personality is that of a spender, and your fundamental belief is that the purpose of money is to pay bills. The second personality is the saver. When you meet a saver, they use money to build safety nest against the storm. These people, when you meet them, they are risk averse. They believe something is going to go wrong in the future. So they are building against it. One major thing with them is they are fear-driven. Now watch, I'm not saying that savings is wrong. That's not what I'm saying. But when you meet a saver, he's full of fear, fundamentally. Why are you saving? The reason is, okay, this biblically is the guy with 1 talent. They are savers. While it is important that you have a savings account, what I mean is the part set aside for rainy days, it is also crazy to carry all of your disposable income and bury in a savings account where it is not working for you. And it's not even challenging the inflation rate. Number 3, we have the waster. These are personality. And most people, are, they are here. They are listening to me. The waster. A waster is a person that uses money to buy luxuries and, look at my mouth, success symbols. When you meet these people, they are still in their father's house, but they have a Jeep, big car. They are still renting. They have 2 cars. You have a big car. They have designer clothes. They have fashion accessories. All is about ego, how people see them. They have ego over essence. And what that tells us that you are profane fundamentally because your values and priorities are all mixed up. Listen to people like that. You want to look rich. You prioritize looking rich over actually becoming rich. Those that are rich, they don't pretend to be rich. They are. So because you are trying to pretend to be rich, you waste money. You have disposable incomes, but disposable incomes are spent on temporary gratifications. All they do is imaging, making statements. All they do is photo ops, proving point. That's a waster when you meet them. They can never be wealthy. When you pick this person, double their income, it will only double their waste. The last one, the investor. These are personality. Who are you? The fourth one is the investor. Listen to me. I'm getting ready to sit. Wow. Are you happy you're in church? Come on, put your hands together. Come on, put your hands together. If you can do probing, the end of poverty has come in your life. This teaching will save your life forever. The investor use money to make money by putting money to work. When you meet a person with that personality, and this, when money comes into your hand, this personality tells us what happened to the money. They will take their disposable income. When they finish paying bills, and when they pay what they will, they finish settling, they now begins to look and explore investment opportunity. There are some of you, investment never enter your mind. They may invest in company stocks, real estate, currency. They will explore opportunities to make investment in order to beat inflation. If your money is not beating inflation, you will be broke all your life. And these people, they literally multiply their money. So when I give you 10 million, if you're not an investor, next year this time you will be broke. And most of you don't have that personality. The investor later buys almost all of the things that the wasters and the spenders, and then he's not working like you. Why? Because his money is sustaining these things. These are people who they will not leave money in the bank. If they leave money in the bank, they leave only what they need in the bank. The reason is because when you meet them, they have a long-range investment vision to know that if they do, am I helping somebody here? And they begin to do investment early in life. And they do it early enough and often enough. They believe that a day is going to come when they can live luxuriously and comfortably off of the income that is coming from their investment. So they are not trying to prove to you that they have it. No, it's normal. When you see their wealth, you're not the weight. They're not sweating to prove. No, it's normal. When you meet them, they move with a government. They're not trying to prove to you, no. They started early. And now they are living a luxurious and a comfortable life out of what they have invested. So that when you meet people like that, they are now retired from things that they don't want to do anymore. But when they retire, they are still earning the money and living the lifestyle, whether they go to work or not. And it's a personality. So the key question, Nika, is somebody happy he's in church? Come on, put your hands together. How do I determine your financial personality? You determine by answering this question. Number one, why do you want more money? You have to answer it. For some of you, the answer is because I'm in debt and I need to pay off bills. So these guys pay bills. Guess what? You are a spender. You don't need more money to pay bills. You need more money to invest. Spenders, they don't think. Number two, What is my first impulse when I make new money? Your first impulse tells us who you are. There are some people immediately back of Kudi, there is a first impulse. Most of you, your first impulse is not to multiply it. How do I know? Look at where you are. For some of you, the immediate impulse is to upgrade your lifestyle. Some of you immediately now back at 10 million. You already know who to call to bring that car. You already know. That motor na ina bani wahala ma sabon motor ya iso. Immediately you want to upgrade lifestyle. Abunda ka gani, you know, Instagram, that clothes. Some of you, if you are like that, listen to me, you are a waster and a spender. And money can't come to your hand because your personality is a bag with a hole. And God can't trust you even to increase his kingdom. Some of you, the initial impulse is to stick it to savings. Number 3, will more money lead to more assets or more liabilities in your life? You have to answer. When you meet investors, they can buy luxury cars, but they use the lottery cars to bring more money to them. They rent it. Will more money lead me to more assets or more liability? What's an asset? An asset is something that brings money to you. What's a liability? Anything that takes money out of you. Number 4, if I made $1 million today, how much will I have left next year by this time? You have to answer it. The answer tells us your personality. Now, the reason why you are where you are is based on the training. Nika, am I helping somebody? My time is up. Come on, put your hands together. My time is up. Most of us here were trained and raised to be spenders and savers. From our home, from our friends, from places that we come from. Most of us, virtually none of us are trained to be investors. And that's where the problem is. And that's why we are here now. You have to change things from the core belief. And if you want it to become a positive habit, you have to consistently do it. Some of you are spenders and you don't even know why. But I don't even know where the money comes. You have a habit. When you meet the rich are trained to be investors. The spenders and the wasters, when you meet them, they don't have long-term goals. They don't have generational vision. Broke people don't have visions. Smart investors, when you meet them, they start with long-range goals. That's why when money comes, they don't value the bread in their hand. No. Investors, no. They are not eaters. When you meet investors, they have long-range goals. These goals may involve their retirement and other forms of freedom. It may involve their family legacy or even your personal legacy. When you don't have a long-range goals, you are doomed to spend your money and waste money. And most people listening to me, if that never change, am I talking here? When you meet a saver, they are dumb. They don't understand inflation. 1,000 today will not buy the same thing next year. The only way 1,000 will, is that you have to release it, let it move so that it increase and meet the inflation next year. So when you meet savers, when you keep it, they don't know inflation. Inflation is the rate at which your money loses its purchasing power. So you lie down, the 5 million, next year is 1 million. Unless your money is invested in an opportunity that promises a return that beats the rates of inflation, you are losing money. Why am I teaching this? You need to be wealthy even at a young age. The kermuka is changing your wall. Some of you have a heart, but you don't have it. And most the and this evening, Ankamon bills no hotels. We need to pay 760 something thousand. 900. Yeah. I used to be a waster. I have to sit down. Where do I want to go? Apart from family, personal, church, vision, long range. And you have to brutally, at first it's going to be painful, but you have to scrape some certain things. Come on, put your hands together. You have to stop some certain things. You have to scrape. Stay without. Build a habit that is positive so that God can release money to you and knows that when the money comes in, it's not a bag with a hole. Hallelujah. Saving money, don't confuse saving money with investment. Investment will create lasting wealth. The only people that will retire young and retire rich and energetic are investors with long-range goals. They start early. Early, so they begin with the little that started coming. Early. From the first time money and Ashiganuna. I need to be rented. Katara cannot, early. You don't wait for government to retire you. You retire when you want to retire. And you have assets, things that are working. And you're working in the things of God. It's a habit. If I give you 10 million, where will you be? When you meet investors, I taught in this place. Even if I don't teach for the next 10 years, the things I taught in this place is enough. I taught in this place on money tree. Money tree. How many of you remember the series? Investors have money tree. When you meet investors, they are purpose driven. And purpose driven prosperity means creating wealth on purpose with destiny in mind. And that includes your generational vision. My time is up. Last thing. How long could you sustain your lifestyle if you lose your job today or your business closed down? If your business closed down today, say, guess what? I asked this question 10 years ago. I don't know whether some of you can remember. I said, can some of you remember? More than 10 years ago, I asked this same question. I stopped working 2020. This church is not paying me a dime. If your answer is in 1 to 3 months, you're in trouble. Then you have to start paddling fast and begin to change your paradigms to become an investor. Some of you immediately, government has stopping naka da aiki. Zaka kwanta kaman duniya ya kare. Why? At the end of every month, by the time the next month is coming, you have paid bills with your money. And no money has gone to work. I started work. I have a book. I monitor this joker. Offering tithes, gifts, investment money. You have to invest in your business. Started pushing money. You have to be intentional. You have to hate that you are the way you are and change it. Change will not fall like that. How many of you believe that you have an appointment with prosperity next year? Maybe next month. Then you have to be in the place. Some months ago, and there's an investment. Can you have $1,000? I have to be in the place.